Hi, welcome back to Crafting Some Ambience. I hope you're having a lovely week. I hope the weather's nice where you are, and I hope that life's looking after you. I hope that if you're new here, you choose to stick around. If you could like and subscribe, that would be wonderful. I've took inspiration from a local urban sketching group that I follow, and their artists do amazing things. They really are fabulous. So I've took a reference image, because the weather was quite drastic, of our local shops, and I'm going to start by really breaking things down into easier shapes. So rectangles, parallelograms, triangles, just geometry. I'm trying to get a little bit of angle and perspective, because it does go around the corner. I haven't measured it. It's probably still on a bit of a wonk, but this is a trial thing, because I really want to get more into my urban sketching. We had a go lately in New Brighton, and I think that went okay. This was actually filmed before New Brighton, so hopefully in that video, weirdly, we've gone the wrong way round, and hopefully in the New Brighton video that you've already seen, there's some progress. So windows, doors, again, marking out where they are and the shape we can detail and add to things as we go along. I'm doing a voiceover as well, because on the day my voice was horrendous. So it was, you wouldn't have enjoyed it, because allergy season had really kicked in that day. These shops are very handy locally, and an important community resource near us, especially since another shop locally closed down, and then planning was refused for renovating and updating and opening a new shop. So these are the nearest amenities, as well as local businesses that of course you want to support. We have amazing local businesses, independents around us. We're very lucky to have them, and if you don't use them, you lose them. There's me realising that I'd done the path and not the path around the corner, which is not very bright. also used a bit of artistic license and brought the bus shelter up, and it's probably not really to scale, but again, we're getting used to things. We're getting used to what we could improve as much as what we've done wonderfully. I always do try and give as realistic and authentic a video as possible, because I do believe that, as well as anything that you could gain through what I do right, so to speak, you can learn from my pitfalls as well, and you can learn from looking at what I'm doing and thinking, I bet you if I do it this way it would be better. You know, there's always value in seeing somebody practically do things and learning by doing, and evaluating and analysing things as you go along. I find myself, even while doing the voiceover and the editing of my videos, I'm processing things that I could improve, or even sometimes the takeaway is something where I could have enjoyed it more if I hadn't been so critical, or I hadn't put so much pressure on myself, or rushed myself, or got anxious about whether something was going to look right, or, you know, I think we give ourselves so many hoops to jump through, and quite often when you're going to do something and show it to others, especially on a scale where you might not know everybody that's going to watch it, I think you kind of preempt certain things, and you get a bit nervous about, you know, what if they mean about this, or, you know, and I think it's important to just be brave and share things and be authentic, and do your best and try and get that sense of community together that you don't get if you're only showing people the flashy showy bits, the perfection, the edited and filtered, you know. That's not what crafting and art and things is all about, really. It's about the flow and the enjoyment and the inspiration, and dare I use a cliche, it's about the process of doing it. Actually experience it and actually getting on with it. I'm just writing some detail at the bottom. These are water resistant, I think, or waterproof pens from Jackson's Art that I was using. Now it's going to be the regular, fairly, I'll say, bargain, good value watercolours that I just use to practice and muck about with. We've got some grey for the roof tiles. We're filling in the windows. And it is a sketch, it's not a full study, it's less precise, and it's about what you learn each time. I'm actually really enjoying when I've been urban sketching the fact that I'm observing and I'm looking, and I find that I'm noticing the world around me because I'm choosing a composition. I'm looking at the shapes to break it down to. Looking at the details. Considering size and position and shades of colour and weather and it makes you really keep sitting back and paying attention to where you are and what you're doing. And yeah, I've took photos and then gone home and carried on with the paint and things like that, but I'm still, even on the photograph, looking. And sometimes when you're walking around taking a photograph and then carrying it on going, you don't really stop and you kind of see but you don't look. A bit like when you hear but you don't listen. So yeah, I think as part of trying to get better painting this year, I really want to have a look at urban sketching, plein air painting. I've noticed progress and improvement as I go along. I'm looking and noticing things that I've seen and read and watched tutorials about, and I've seen it coming through in what I'm doing, and I've not really consciously thought, right, today I'm going to implement da 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 da. I've learned it and it's consolidated in my mind, which is really good. And I've had a few times lately when members of my nearest and dearest, I don't really do art in front of a lot of my family, but the ones who I do, and I've noticed my art regularly, have at times said lately, I can see that you're learning, I can see that you're improving, I can see that you're practicing, I can tell that you're thinking more about colour and shape, and that my choices are becoming more considered. I'm I'm choosing and there's reason and intent behind my choices. I have gone greener there than you can see in that image, but with being local, I know that when you walk underneath that archway, it's a lot more green than it looks on that picture. And I am doing the shop fronts with a bit of artistic license because I want to lift the painting a bit, because there's a lot of grey, there's a lot of brick, you know. I've also been looking at my setup for plein air painting. I've made travel palettes with watercolour from tubes and a gouache or gouache, whichever one it is, in a tube, and certain markers, certain pens. I've had a look at what I'm going to carry them in. I've chosen a travel easel, and when I don't have an easel, more of a setup where I can have it on my lap. Trying to make things portable but very usable, and we shall see, because when I was doing plein air April, I did think I really enjoy this, and when I'm in my back garden, brilliant, because we've got the patio furniture and I can paint on there and things like that. But when you're out and about, I wasn't really geared up for it, but it is something, especially like when my husband's fishing or something like that, you know, I've got hours to get comfy and do something really nice. And this was just about, 20 minutes of my life. And I relaxed and I chilled out, and I thought about what I was doing instead of thinking about what I should be doing or what I was going to do next, or the weight of the world at times lately. Just a few moments of just breathing. And that's where I hope, if you choose to do a sketch and paint and have a moment to look and notice and enjoy. Hopefully it gives you a moment where you can press pause And we all have to start somewhere. Keep it simple like I'm doing at first. You know, it's easy shapes, it's easy brush strokes. It's not, you know, it's adding knowledge as you learn it. And it's like the layers of an onion, I suppose, you know. You only know so much, and then you add a bit more and your technique gets better, so then you get a bit more confidence, so you look into things a little bit more, or you take advice, or you know, and it's just adding and adding, and it's a hobby and it evolves. It's not, you know, it's learning for fun. So I wish you all many happy paintings and sketches. I thank Liverpool Urban Sketchers for the inspiration and the pleasure I get from seeing their artwork on Instagram and Facebook. And stay safe, stay happy, and enjoy getting outside and doing some urban sketching. I've enjoyed being with you, and I hope you have a wonderful crafty week, and I shall see you soon with another interesting video. Thank you.